come to your mat, just hold on to the backs of your thighs and slowly roll all the way down onto your back. Then we'll go ahead and stretch the legs out and just interlace your fingers and rest your hands on your belly. Right away, just close your eyes and begin to settle into your space. As you allow the body to become still and settle into this time that you're carving out, just begin to cultivate really deep, smooth, and steady breaths to assist you in the process of slowing down. In these times of continued uncertainty and instability, I think one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves is simply remember the steadiness we always have from our breath. No matter what's going on around us, no matter what's going on within us, as long as we're alive, we have this steady presence. Spend just a few more moments in stillness today to allow that truth to begin to soothe any tense or anxious feelings. We can truly experience the power of the breath simply by resting in it. But when we begin to trust in it with an open mind and an open heart, we experience its power to even greater degrees. So now take just a few more moments here to open to the possibility of the breath calming your nervous system, releasing you today from any unnecessary worries, and bringing you back to a sense of home and internal stability within. Take just one more life-giving breath here in stillness. Then keeping your fingers interlaced with your next inhale, stretch your arms overhead and then flip your palms away from you. Just begin to open up some space in the body. You can even stretch through your toes and try to fill your whole body with breath here. You can even allow your rib cage to flare open and enjoy the openness that brings across your heart space. We're going to begin to move with the breath, and this stretch will still be the inhale. But with your next exhale, draw your right knee into your chest, then take your interlaced fingers around the shin to gently pull. Breathe in, re-extend, arms and leg. This time as you exhale, draw the left knee in. Breathe in to extend, enjoy the space that you're creating. And exhale as you draw the right knee in again. Continue to go side to side, linking the movement to the rhythm of your own breath. Simply move in a way that feels just right in your body today. And continue to be guided by your breath. The next time you draw your left knee in, whenever that is, go ahead and hold here for a few breaths. You can remain completely still if that's what you need, or you could rock side to side gently. You could even circle your left ankle around a few times. Just breathe and feel. Take one more inhale to gently pull the knee down. And as you exhale, guide your left knee over your body to come into a gentle twist. It doesn't have to come all the way down to the ground. You can just let it hover. And if you'd like to expand your left arm, you can do that. You can even gaze over your left shoulder. Come back to the steadiness of your breath here. As you feel ready, you can go ahead and slowly unwind and just hug your left knee to your chest one more time. And as you inhale, re-extend your left leg out long, stretch your arms overhead and flip your palms. Let's take an extra breath here just to open up even more space. Breathe out, draw the right knee in. This time hold here, either in complete stillness or treating it as an exploration. Next time you breathe out, ease into your twist, sending the right knee over the body. And just think for a moment about how incredible it is that no matter what's going on in the world, we will continue to receive each inhale and each exhale. No matter what's going on at an emotional or mental layer of being, we will continue to receive and release, at least at our physical layer. Come back through the center and give your right knee one more good pull. Breathe in, re-extend your right leg, both arms. Take one more breath here to stretch. And with your next exhale, use the strength of your lower abdominals to pull both knees to the chest. Take your interlaced fingers around both shins and gently pull here. And again, you could rock side to side a few times. That feels really good to massage the lower back. And as long as spinal rolls feel okay for your spine, go ahead and bring your hands to the backs of your thighs and begin to rock up and down. Think of massaging each vertebrae. And then eventually we'll get enough momentum to cross over the ankles and come to all fours. Or you can just sit to either side and eventually we'll all meet here in all fours. Ground yourself by pressing evenly through both hands and both shins. Find a really long spine. Take a breath in. Then as you exhale, walk both of your hands in a semicircle towards the right. Begin to breathe along the left side body. Just go to wherever feels good. Take just a few more breaths, keeping just enough energy in your lat muscles to keep the shoulders away from the ears. And now we're going to keep the hands where they are, but slowly send the hips back to the heels for child's pose, still stretching the left side body. Just relax your head down. You can bend one of your arms if you need to, or you can even stretch the fingers further away. Take a few even deeper breaths here. One more full breath to melt into surrender. And the next time you're breathing in, walk your hands back towards your right knee. Then we'll try taking the left fingers to the outside of the right knee, and bringing the right fingers a little further behind us to come into a twist. Think of drawing your navel in slightly so that you can find space to twist from the base of the rib cage. Relax your shoulders and just breathe. Take one more inhale to twist. And as you exhale, find a neutral spine here in hero pose. Interlace all of your fingers behind your back. And then take this Venus Mudra, that's what this hand position is called, and bring it to your right waist. Relax your shoulders down, and you can just stay here and release your left arm, or you could even drop your right ear down towards the right shoulder. Smooth and steady, grounding breaths. Breathe in, stretch up through the crown of your head, straighten both of your arms, and even arch back gently, just for a breath. And release your Venus Mudra. Slide both of your hands forward in front of you to come back to all fours. Take a cleansing breath here. And with your next inhale, keeping your spine long, begin to walk your hands around towards the left in a semicircle. You will be shortening the left side of your body and opening up space along the right side. We just don't want to dump into the lower back. See if there's anywhere you're holding tension unnecessarily. Relax those places with breath. And with your next breath out, go ahead and send your hips all the way back to the heels to come into our child's pose, still keeping the side stretch. Just relax into it. Allow your next inhale to guide your hands back towards your left knee. And we'll come into our twist and hero pose, taking the right fingers to the outside of the left knee and the left fingers gently behind. I know that hero pose can create discomfort for some people. If it's just a feeling of challenge, then I usually encourage you to just lean into it and breathe. But if it's joint pain, particularly in your knees, you can try sitting on blocks or a pillow, or you can try opening the shape a little bit. Take just one more inhale to twist. And as you exhale, come through center. Take Venus Mudra again. Roll your shoulders open and down your back. And take your Venus arms to your left waist. Either keep neutral alignment in your neck or drop your left ear down to the shoulder. Breathe in, stretch up through the crown of your head, straighten your arms once more here. Take a gentle back bend. And as you release your Venus arms, stretch both of them forward. This time we'll come back to all fours, then tuck the toes and press back to downward dog. Just a few breaths in downward dog today. I know that it doesn't always feel like the easiest shape in yoga, especially if you're fairly new to your practice, but I do think it's one of the most grounding shapes. So just focus on both hands and both feet being planted on your mat. Take one more breath. And then with a hollow belly, begin to walk your feet forward, but we're actually going to take them to the outsides of both hands today. Take your time getting there, and you can bend your knees as much as you need to. But once your feet are all the way to the outsides of the hands, go ahead and relax the back of your neck, and take Venus arms again behind the back. Enjoy releasing and opening up the hamstrings here and keep your breath moving. We'll try moving dynamically just a few times to open a little bit deeper, but it is important that you keep a little bit of engagement in your core to support this. So go ahead and think about drawing the navel slightly in again. And with your next inhale, take a generous bend of your knees and begin to rise all the way up. And if it feels good, you can straighten your legs and arch at the top. And as you exhale, rebend your knees. Start to melt your belly down to your thighs. Send the crown of your head down. Maybe even send your arms away from you. Inhale as you begin to rise back up. Take it at your own pace. On the exhale, come back down each time. Make sure you're really relaxing your head there at the bottom. Let's go just one more time today. All the way up, arching and opening, then come all the way back down. This time we'll stay here at the bottom. If you'd like to start straightening your legs, you can, but make sure it feels good in your body. Let's take a few more breaths to work the shoulders around. You can lift one shoulder and then the other. You can allow your torso to come with you and even your head. Come back through center, take one more breath. And release your fingers between your feet. Turn both of your toes out. And slowly bend your knees to come all the way down into Malasana, deep yoga squat. And if your heels are down, you can bring your hands to heart center. If they're not, then for today, just press into your hands a little bit to support the shape. We won't be here too long, but we will be visiting this shape a few times. So if this feels unbearable, you can also just come up and press your forearms to your thighs. If you're feeling okay here, try to just close your eyes. Press your elbows gently into the front of your shins. Let's go ahead and release the hands down and actively press into them. With your next exhale, take a giant step back with your right foot to come into a lunge. Keep your left toes turned out, and as you inhale, sweep your left arm towards the ceiling. This should feel really good, just a nice wide open twist. You can always release your back knee if that would be a better option for you today. But if it is lifted, try to keep some energy in that right quadricep. With your next exhale, release your left hand to the inside of the foot again. Then pivot to the side of your mat, turning both of your toes and knees out, and begin lunging side to side dynamically. Try to move with your breath, and this can be very gentle as I'm doing now. If you're feeling really open, you can start to send your hips all the way down to your heel each time. But just relax the upper body, let this feel so right in your body. We benefit the most from yoga when we treat it as an exploration. If we come into it thinking our body must look a certain way in different shapes, then we won't receive exactly what we need for that practice. The next time you're bending your left leg, go ahead and pivot back around to the front of the mat to find a lunge. Then release your right knee down. Very slowly send your hips all the way back to your right heel as you straighten your left leg and walk your hands back. We'll start with a neutral spine here. Again, if this is hurting your knee, you can just bring your hips up a little higher. If you're feeling okay, then just relax your shoulders. And maybe even begin to take this into a gentle fold. If you are folding, think of lifting out of the hips and keeping a long spine as you walk the hands down. A lot going on in this shape, so you likely are feeling quite a bit of sensation. As long as those sensations feel challenging yet healthy, just breathe into and around them. Your next inhale, very slowly come back to your lunge. Take as much time as you need to get there. We'll turn the toes out again. This time keep your right knee down. And sweep your left arm towards the ceiling again. In this shape, I sometimes like to roll to the outer edge of the foot. You're welcome to try that. But if you do, make sure that you're keeping some energy in your ankle so that you don't break that line of energy. Take another breath in to spin your chest towards the ceiling. Then as you exhale, replant your left foot, replant your left hand, curl your back toes under to lift the knee, and just get really springy in your hips so you can step your right hip to the outside of both hands. Send your hips low to come back to Malasana. And even if you can bring your hands to heart center, if you'd rather just keep them down and pressing into the earth today, you're always free to do that as well. Let's find somewhere to land in stillness for a few breaths. Grow up even taller through your spine. Take one more breath. And release your hands down. Actively press into them. Take a giant step back with the left foot. Find the placement of your lunge and think of drawing your hips slightly in still as we are opening the right hip. Breathe in. Expand your right arm towards the ceiling. One more life-giving breath to open. And as you exhale, release your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Start to pivot to the side of your mat, turning both toes and knees out, and lunge side to side again. You can be moving the same way as before, but keep in mind sometimes we may need something a little different on the second side. It can be really powerful to honor that. The next time you're bending your right leg, pivot to face the front of your mat again. Find your lunge. This time release the back knee down and slowly send your hips all the way back to sit on your heel. Find a long spine first and just make sure this is feeling okay on this side. And if you are ready to deepen, remember to lift out of your hips and then fold forward. Allow your breath to provide an anchor for your mind. Let it even be like a soundtrack that you're able to listen to and be soothed by. Be held by one more inhale and exhale here. With your next inhale, slowly come back to your lunge. Turn your toes out again. Open your right arm towards the ceiling. Then if you'd like, you can roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Feel your entire body open and alive here. With your next breath out, replant your right hand, replant your right foot, curl your back toes under to lift your knee. Get springy in your hips and step the left foot forward. Sit to Malasana just one more time. Let's just take 3 smooth and steady breaths. Count your own. After your third breath, whenever that is, just use your fingertips to lightly support yourself all the way down to a seat. We'll bring the feet together and the knees together. And once you find this position, take your left forearm around both shins and bring your right fingers behind you, just like we did in hero pose. Open through your chest. Think of widening the collarbones, relaxing the shoulders down. Keeping this twist, just allow both of your knees to fall all the way towards the right and slide down so you're lying on the right side of your body. Begin to send your left toes a little further behind you. If you can, take your left hand and take hold of the outer edge of your foot or ankle. Think of sending your hips slightly forward. Just breathe into the left quadricep. We'll just take one more breath here for today. And without snapping, release your left foot, restack your left knee on top of the right, then send both of your knees just a little further back so they're in line with your hips. Press into your left hand so that you can come back to a seat, just on the right hip now, and stretch your left arm over your ear. This may be where you want to stay if you're keeping it pretty restorative, and we are starting to wind down the practice. This is a beautiful pose. If you'd like to take it up just a notch, you can start to lift your hips here, and maybe even extend your left leg and plant the foot. One more breath, staying fully awake, fully present within the shape. And if your hips are lifted, release them first. And let's all come back to both sit bones with both feet planted, both knees towards the ceiling. Take a breath just to reset. And as you're ready, take your right forearm across the shins. Bring your left fingertips behind you. And find a gentle twist. Keeping the twist, the next time you breathe out, allow your knees to fall all the way to the left. and slide down onto your left side body. And you can just relax your head or your cheek all the way down. And then we'll start to send the right toes back. Maybe take hold of your foot or your ankle. Find something that feels interesting enough to know that you are releasing the right quadricep, but gentle enough to know that you're finding balance for your whole being. Take just one more breath. Then mindfully release the right foot and restack your right knee on top of the left. Send both knees just a little further back so you can find good alignment. Then press into your right hand to slide up. Bring your left hand underneath the shoulder. Then stretch your right arm over your ear. Decide if you'd like to stay here, or maybe begin lifting the hips. Maybe even extend your right leg. Feel every fiber of your being participating in this shape. Every part of you is present. If your hips are lifted, go ahead and slowly release them. We'll all come back around to both sit bones with both feet planted one more time. Just hug both of your arms around the shins. Take a final breath just to relax any tension. And as gently as you can, hold the backs of your legs like we did at the beginning and roll all the way down. It's time for Shavasana, our final resting pose. For this time, I always encourage you to make yourself as comfortable as possible. So if that means getting an extra layer to put on or grabbing a pillow, feel free to do that. Once you have found a way to be for just a few moments, go ahead and settle all the way into the stillness. And just trust that you will continue to be held by your breath, that you don't have to try to remain aware of it now. Stillness, begin to gently bring your awareness back to the surface. One of the most beautiful beautiful things about yoga is that our time on the mat is just one element of it. We get to continue our practice, even more so really, in our lives. So take some time now to just open to the possibility that you will continue to be nourished by and held by the wisdom of your breath. No matter what goes on around you or within you for the rest of the day, you can continue to call upon the certainty and the stability and even the rhythm of receiving and releasing, all from your own breath. You can bring gentle movement back as you feel ready. And eventually walk your feet in and roll to either side. Allow yourself as much time as you need or want to come up to any comfortable seat. But once you arrive, just close your eyes, allow and feel everything settling in once more. Breathe in, circle your arms overhead, and breathe out, hands to heart center. Namaste, everyone.